Hi, I'm the Blue Bard and welcome to the Mythoscope, the place where we look at everything mythical. Let's see what our topic is today. Middle Ages and beasts. The unicorn! I think. That's a unicorn, right? Anyone and their 5-year-old cousin would know what a unicorn is. A kind, gentle, white horse with a single horn which was said to be magical. Their manes were magical, their fur was magical, their hooves were magical, and they pooped rainbows! Okay, that wasn't true. They didn't poop rainbows. But half about what we assume about unicorns isn't true in any case. So, what is a unicorn really? Well, they weren't horses. They resembled the everyday ass or female deer much better, and according to legend, they were aggressive and territorial. Certainly not the magical and lovable creatures we seem to think they were. But in every country, they are described differently. Like in Europe, where they were short and stocky and usually pale, and they had a cubit-sized horn, which is a length from the elbow tip to the middle finger. And they would have looked a little something like this. Or like in India, where they were larger, even more aggressive, had cloven hooves, blue or red heads, and crimson horn tips. They in turn would have looked something like this. So, what about the unicorn is true? Their horn power. Simply put, the alicorn was a very powerful ingredient, as any Fanacorn with their salt will tell you. It could be turned into a cup, which would purify your drink and disband any poison, or it could be ground down into dust and added into medicine for a greater healing potion you could use against that pesky owlbear in D&D. The horns were extremely valuable, and people often killed unicorns just for them, much like rhinos today. They used virgins to lure them away from their lairs, and then a hunter would come along and stab it in the side. Yay for sportsmanship! But unicorns seem to be a rarity, even in the time they were hunted. But the question is, were they real? The unicorn has been mentioned in many ancient texts, including Chaldean art, which dates about 3500 BC. In San Giovanni, a fragment of the Romanesque mosaic floor dates back to 1213 AD and has a very realistic depiction of a unicorn. In the Bible, one of the 12 tribes had a unicorn as its heraldic, and of course the tapestries from France, which was made during the 15th century. This certainly proves that the people believed it existed, and so do I. Well, before you tackle me with weird quotes and proofs and tomatoes, just let me clarify. Were unicorns pure magical horses who could dance on fluffy clouds and sparkle in the moonlight? No. Were they ordinary white deer or ass-like animals with a single horn who was unfortunate enough to be hunted to extinction? Yes. The only reason people believe today that unicorns didn't exist is simply because the idea of the animal has been warped. We see them as these fantastical beasts which could speak to us and protect forests with magic. But that's just not true. It's actually a lot like the black cat. We used to believe the black cat was evil and that witches could turn into them. Today we know that black cats aren't evil and witches only ever use flying monkeys in any case. But it's because the cat is still around to prove us wrong. And just because the unicorn isn't around anymore doesn't mean they didn't exist at all. And for all we know, they could have pooped rainbow cookie dough on a daily basis.